Hi guys, it's Georgia here. Sorry I haven't put a video out till now. I've been trying to get into a regular schedule and I apologise about the camera shaking. That was my cat just rubbing against the bottom of the stand I'm using for this. Anyway, yeah, like I said, sorry I haven't put a video out for a few days, well, for about a week. Been trying to get more regular, but I've had a few things going on, which is kind of what this video is going to be about. I'm going to start off by saying I'm not doing this video because I want pity or anything like that. I've just decided, spur of the moment really, so if I waffle I apologise. I wanted to be real with you guys. Not that I'm fake other times, but I want to just be completely honest. The reason I haven't done a video is because I haven't been doing amazingly well. And generally in my videos, you know, their advice, their updates on me, but I tend to try and focus on the positives because I don't want to bring anybody down or worry anybody or anything like that. But today's video I've decided to do on something that I'm going through at the moment, which is grief. Now, the reason I'm going through it at the moment is because on Sunday, 22nd of November, it will be 2 years since I lost my boyfriend of 3 months. At the time, he died, or he was 28, and he died of a heart attack. Well, a heart defect that he had since he was born, but nobody knew about it. So essentially, he had a ticking time bomb in his chest, and it could have happened at any point. Happened when he was 28. So anniversary, they're always hard. They're always probably going to be hard. But I wanted to do this video to sort of put it out there that it's okay to be emotional about things like this. It's okay to be emotional, full stop. But I wanted to sort of make a big point of that by doing this video and sharing my emotions, essentially, and just being straight that it's okay to show emotions. It's okay to struggle. Things like, especially if you've got mental health issues, I certainly find myself doing this. I sort of question everything. So things such as this grief that I'm going through, sort of another wave of it, so to speak, is I go, well, is this normal? Am I overreacting to this? Is this a mental health reaction or is this just a normal reaction? I can tell you this grieving is, and everything that comes with it is 150% natural. It is normal. It is not that you're broken or you're weak. It is just normal. And I've been through quite a few different things, as you guys probably already know. But I will say, for me personally, out of everything that's happened, grief, losing people, is probably one of the hardest things of them all, to be honest. Holding my, hands up, being straight. And I just want to say to anybody else out there who is struggling with this, whether it was last week, yesterday, or like me, 2 years, 4 years, anything like that, you are allowed to grieve. You are allowed to cry. You're allowed to get angry. You're allowed to feel. And don't let anybody, including your own head, tell you otherwise. Grief is so hard. And for me, I find the best way to describe it is it comes in waves. Such as when I first lost James, my boyfriend, 2 years ago. I think I was in shock initially. And then it sort of didn't ease off, but it wasn't as difficult to deal with for a few weeks. And then it hit me again. And then it sort of eased off slightly. As in I wasn't thinking about it every minute of every day. That's what I mean when I say ease off. Never really goes away. It's never something that you that you can, it's never something that you'll just deal with and get over it. It's never something like that. Grief is not something that you just get over. I don't think, to be honest, I don't think people in general ever fully get over losing someone, whether it in whatever way it is. I mean, obviously, deaths that are sudden, such as the James's, and also 4 years ago, in summer just gone, it was 4 years this summer, I found one of my friends had committed suicide. Again, sudden death. Suicide is a different kettle of fish to grief. Well, in the grieving process, but sudden deaths in particular, it's, you heal and you grieve at your own pace. And anybody who tells you different, anybody who turns around and says to you, aren't you over that by now? Or, why is that still upsetting you? That was ages ago. Has clearly never been through grief or lost anybody ever. It doesn't matter whether you knew that person all your life, whether you knew that person for a few months, whether the death was a day ago, a month ago, a year, 4 years, 5 years. You're allowed to feel, it will still hit you. Waves and waves. I mean, it's been 2 years. I can't actually believe it's been 2 years, to be honest. But I'm still, at the moment, particularly, feeling pretty much the same as I was, minus the shock, this time 2 years ago. And that's okay. And as much I'm telling myself this, as much as I'm telling you guys this, it is okay. It's normal, it's natural, it's nothing that you should be ashamed of, which is why I'm doing this video and sort of raising awareness of it, because again, it's something that a lot of people, I mean, it is hard for people who aren't going through it to try and support someone. I mean, I've had friends that I've been trying to support, and it's difficult. It is one of the hardest things, because there's not a lot you can say. There's nothing you can say really that's going to take the pain away or anything like that. But the best thing you can do is you can just be there for that person. And I find people treating me like it was, like life was normal, like there wasn't this big massive thing that had just happened. I find that to be quite helpful. I mean, everyone's slightly different in what they find helps and doesn't help. And I'll probably do a video, not at the moment, but at some point, on my tips that I've got for handling grief and the waves when they hit. But it's the best thing, rather than, let me try again. You can tell I haven't, this is off the cuff, straight from the heart. When you lose somebody, it's, for me, I found both times the whole world stops. Well, technically 3. I've lost 3 people, but because I lost my great-grandma as well. The whole world stops. It feels like you're frozen in time, and it's very surreal because everybody else around you is carrying on with their daily lives, shopping, going to work, picking up the kids, whatever it is, they're just carrying on. And it's kind of, I remember having this kind of, how can you just carry on when my life has just totally been blown apart? And it's very, very surreal. This was sort of for me when it first happened. And the most the things I found most helpful was people just treating me as if things were relatively normal. I mean, obviously, you'd get, are you okay, how you doing? Which is fine. It's nice to know people care. But people avoiding you, people not giving you a wide berth because they don't want to feel awkward, that doesn't help. That makes you feel worse because it makes you feel alone. And grief, as it is, can be very isolating. So if you're supporting somebody who's grieving, just treat them like you normally do. They're still a normal human being. Yes, they're going through hell, but that doesn't mean that you have to sort of walk on eggshells. Just be mindful. Just be aware, they're going through a lot. So yeah, they might get upset, that's fine. They might get angry, that's fine too. Just try and roll with it and just be there. The best thing you can do is just be there for them and let them come to you. If they want to talk about it, let them talk about it, but don't push them to. Because, if they're having a decent day for a change, or that, they're not actually feeling really, really bad, you then coming up to someone and going, so how are you doing? How are you coping with the loss? Can then bring everything back, and suddenly that person goes from being relatively alright to just straight through the floor. So just take it, listen to the person who's grieving, listen to that person that you're supporting. But yeah, I don't know, this video's kind of gone in a bit of a direction I wasn't expecting, but yeah, I just want to say, grief sucks. There's no two ways about it. It is extremely difficult, and I miss James. I've missed him every single day since he died. And this time of year will always be difficult for me, I feel. But now, I can say to you guys who are going through it, and everybody says it, but it's true, time does help. I wouldn't say, at the moment, I don't feel, like I said, I feel very similar to how I felt minus the shock, when I first lost James. But one thing that I have noticed that's changed is I'm actually not just remembering now, like on the 1 year anniversary, all I could think of really was the day that I lost him, the emotions I had that day, the next day, and the funeral and all of that. But now I'm actually able to remember, and yeah, it's upsetting, but I can remember the happy memories. I can remember, good things about him. I'm telling some of my mates now who didn't know him about the sort of guy he was and how he had a heart of gold and everything like that. And that's a nice thing now to be able to do. I couldn't do that before because it was too painful. All I could focus on was the pain and the negative. But actually now I'm able to think about the happy times and remember the good times I had, and not just the fact that he passed away. So that I can promise you, that does happen. That's happened for me. It does get easier to deal with almost, because it becomes familiar. It's like, past couple of weeks I've noticed that, okay, well this is another wave of grief hit me now, because I can, after a while you recognise the signs. Not always, sometimes it creeps up on you, but it's a case of, okay, well, I know this anniversary's coming up, I know it's going to be wobbly, so what am I going to do on the day to do something nice in remembrance of him? So that's something as well I find quite helpful. And if you can, try to celebrate the day, or do something nice. Do something that you celebrate his life, almost, or their life. So for me, at the moment it's him, but yeah. So I'm not going to talk for too much longer because it's been almost 15-minute video. If any of you guys want me to talk about this more, I've got any questions for me, anything like that, do feel free to share and just drop me a message anywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube. I'm spreading my wings on social media. So yeah, do just get in touch. Yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully this video is helpful. Even if it just offers a bit more of a insight. But yeah, I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna admit things are feeling pretty rubbish at the moment because I'm grieving. But that's okay. That's allowed. And I'm not ashamed of that. And none of you guys out there should be ashamed of it either. Just do whatever you can to ride it on through. Ride the wave. Ride it through the grief, and you can get through it, and you will get through it. It may suck right now, but there is a way through. Alright then. Take care, guys. Bye.